detailed, and again, like it's just a world you want to explore and be a part of with tons of combat. So it looks amazing. Well, Ashen coming later this year. Aurora 44. There we go. Get into some of the combat and action. Sure. Looks amazing. All right. Well, thanks very much, Derek. Great to see you. Look forward to seeing more of the game later this year, coming out later this year. That's Ashen from Aurora 44 and Annapurna Interactive. And now we're going to go over to another independent studio. Greg, Rice, Rex, good to see you guys. Double Fine, the house that Tim Schafer built. Tim is not with us today, but we will be seeing Tim at the E3 Coliseum on Tuesday night for the live read of his classic game, Grim Fandango. That will all be streamed on the internets. Greg and I have been working very hard on that, putting it all together, but it's going to be quite the spectacle. Yeah. Rex will be there, I think.
Oh, yeah, I'll be cheering.
All right. I love the shoes, by the way.
Thank you, yes.
Very impressive. All right.
I hope it doesn't look like I'm naked.
No, you're always a very stylish gent, Rex. So we got Knights and Bikes, which we're going to talk about, I'm sure. But Greg, you know, Tim has built some amazing games over the years, but now he's got Double Fine Presents. You guys, you as well, have been a big part of curating an awesome lineup of cool independent titles. So kind of hand it over to you. Where do you want to start?
Sure, yeah. I mean, well, we are building great games at Double Fine still, but they'll probably be next year. So we're not quite showing any Double Fine games yet, but that makes this year a really exciting Double Fine Presents game. So we have 4 games we're showing off at E3 this year. The first one we're showing off is Gang Beasts, which I think people have been familiar with. It's out on PlayStation 4 and PC, and people have been playing it and loving it for a while now. Super fun, but...
Is there anything new here at E3 for Gang Beasts?
We are. So we're showing off a new level. This game is going to be, you know, in ongoing development for a while. We're still working on bugs fixing, but also new content, which this train level is kind of the new one we're showing off here at E3. Yeah, so brand new level.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's coming along and looking really good. It's super fun, but that'll be launching here soon. So just kind of putting the final touches on that one.
There we go.
Be great. And,
now everybody can probably hear me. Welcome to Skulldron's Realm. This is my live Facebook coverage of not only E3 but a lot of other things that are going on today.
Well, if you haven't checked out Gang Beasts, download, check it out. It's quite a
couple of things that
experience.
I am going to be having some fun with.
Sorry to ignore you for one game, Rex. Now, Rex, you know,
there's a lot of things going on within the realm of E3. There's a lot of games coming out, a lot of Star Wars games. There's Unraveled, another Unraveled game. There is
now teamed up with Double Fine to bring
Kingdom Hearts 3.
An incredible game. We're going to see some footage here, I'm sure, in a second. And it's beautiful look, as we expect from you, Rex. Highly creative, tons of fun. Tell us about what is Knights and Bikes?
You know, I'm sure you folks can hit the.
It's an action adventure. It stars 2 little girls who are exploring an English island in the 1980s.
Yes.
So it's got lots of influences from like coming-of-age movies, from like The Goonies.
There's a lot of.
Also some like classic video
let's
games
just say
like,
there's a lot of.
but then bring it up to date with
different things going on within E3.
So that you and a friend can, like, you know, inhabit
a lot of new games, and I mean incredible games that you can definitely get involved in.
Relationship between the 2 characters.
I love how Greg is sitting here just smiling.
It's so charming. I mean, it's a beautiful game. It makes me feel good.
No, it is actually beautiful. As you said, it's got such an incredible art style, which we always expect from you, Rex, but really fun gameplay. And the fact that you can play online, that's a big thing for you, I think.
Definitely.
That experience too.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a game about friendship, so we wanted to make sure that you and a friend can play it together. You can still play it single player, but local co-op and online co-op is there for, you know, that real full experience.
I know you guys have been working on this for a while. How far along are you with it?
I mean, it's Kickstarter, so we're a little bit late. But
what's cool is that they're also advertising for.
We've got all the world built.
There's also advertising for a lot of games, independent games. So it's not like the actual what you see out there. It's not the actual main like big companies. There's a lot of indie companies out there. So basically, I'm a gamer. I enjoy these games, and I personally like to see this stuff.
such a lovable.
And again, those who want to join me on here to discuss E3, give me a shout out and let me know, and I will give you, I would love to hear from what you got to say. Let's put it that way. While this is going on, I'm going to be playing Stardew Valley.
Look at this, and it immediately grabs your eye.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's what's exciting to us about games, and specifically Double Fine Presents, is just the amount of different ideas that are out there in games these days. And this is one that is so clearly, a very creatively driven project from an artist.
Now, I kind of already done a lot with the game.
A team called Playables that did a game called Plug and Play a couple years ago, and this is their follow-up.
And I'm going to try to.
It's similar in structure, so it's kind of like an interactive series of short vignettes. They have a background in film, so they came from kind of a short film world. And the game is about, life and death and everything in between, and how crowds think and interact.
Now, I'm going to lower this a bit because obviously I want to hear what's going
really
on.
Wide range of topics.
So some people look at this and say, visually arresting, but like, how am I playing it? What is the gameplay? Can you describe?
Yeah, so it's for both iOS and PC. It's a very tactile game. So like you see, it's like kind of a series of vignettes that you can interact with and touch and play, and ultimately just kind of push the story along. Right. Plug and Play is a good example. If you haven't played that, you can
cool
check
thing
it
is
out.
I can use my controller for this.
Game, but very short form, 20-minute narrative focused, kind of interactive art.
Hey, let me say a big hello to Billy Lassiter. Happy birthday to you, Billy. You always be Billy the Kid. Was part of the Nightmare Express with your brother Toxic Todd. Happy birthday to you, buddy.
Did you get that many people just reaching out saying, I have an idea for games or something I'm working on, check it out?
Yeah, so we have just an open submissions policy on our website, and we'll take things, but also just try to get to festivals and see what we get inspired by and what.
Let's leave the bear statue alone.
No, I say, like, this is everyone here around the set is like looking at the footage. Like, this does not look like every other first-person action game we have here.
No, it does not.
All right, and when is that one gonna hit?
That's coming shortly, hopefully this year. Hopefully, so it's getting there. But it's looking good. We'll share more on our website soon.
All right, Greg. Now it's time for the finale.
Yes.
What's our last?
I'll wrap it up. Ooblets. Yes. We're still showing Ooblets. Okay. Very excited for Ooblets. I think a lot of people are. So this was at E3 last year in the Microsoft press conference for a little moment, and now it's just.
As you see, I got my house all built up.
It's hard to demo live, so we put together this kind of B-roll because it's something that you just kind of have to spend time with. It's just a space you want to live in and be in, but it's kind of Animal Crossing town with bits of Pokemon on top of it, and Farm Sim and Stardew Valley all wrapped up into kind of a large city sim, town sim.
Yeah, no, this is a game we said another one that is unique and different. That's what we expect from Double Fine Presents.
Yeah.
Very different art style.
And I'm listening to the commentary in the back.
Different distribution models, and it's always great to see what you guys are doing. And we also know
again, you can see
it
is, yeah. So hopefully next year we'll show more of that.
The different things that are coming out for.
Awesome. All right. Well, Greg, Rex, great to see you guys. Have a great E3.
You too.
You can see them doing a lot of stuff for E3. E3 is really popular right now. Again, a lot of games are coming out. I can't wait for some of this stuff.
Great to see you.
How's it going? Good to see you.
Always wearing your ID at Xbox. You must have a lot of those.
I have a lot of these.
I was going to say, it's like every time I see you, it's like the black ID, but a proud member of the Xbox
absolutely.
family. So we were just talking to the Double Fine guys who do a lot of indie titles. ID at Xbox continues to support a lot of.
Hey guys, how you doing?
A lot of titles in the Xbox.
Hey Joe, how you doing?
Some of that.
Pretty good. Big news. Hey everybody for watching who's watching me on Facebook Live. I am in the channel with the Wrestle Gamer himself, Billy Bojo, and we are on his WGS TV Champions channel on Discord. And there is Ashley. How you doing, guys?
Okay, yeah, we're looking at.
I'm still trying to recover from E3.
Yep, I saw a couple of the games. Unravel, the Kingdom Hearts 3. That might be interesting.
Yes, wow, that's amazing.
A couple of the Star Wars games.
You know, won a ton of awards last year.
Well, unless it's announced in the
amazing story
by
you guys were a big part of that success.
It's about the dark times.
Supporting them, so
Yeah, and you know what?
Yep,
you know
the
what's
Clone
great about
War,
these
they
guys is
upgraded the Battlefront, so it's going to have the Clone Wars era. It's about time. That was my favorite time, as much as I love the Empire days, but I think the Clone Wars is much better.
Christopher Lee's finally in a fucking video game.
I know, right?
Again, admittedly, he's been in like Discworld and like other stuff, but this time it's like it's actually going to look like him, not some weird artist's impression of him from like the Clone Wars animated series games and whatever, or a Lego him, or anything. Then again, it probably won't look anything like him because nobody really looks like their actual actor. So
WWE Creative says $100 to unlock Count Dooku.
You know, we still have a montage where we put a lot of great games together, but like,
oh geez, God no.
stand on their own.
No, they stopped that
like
stuff.
Succession is a game that's coming through ID.
They stopped that stuff. It's just for cosmetic stuff.
We don't need to say like this is.
If you want Count Dooku in pink, that's $100.
What I actually love about our briefing is I feel like it's just really.
Yeah, it was also they're doing updates. I think I just saw Cuphead, which is a very challenging and fun game. I love that game.
Cuphead DLC coming 2019. Why isn't it sooner?
I know.
I've seen people on YouTube and here on Twitch break controllers over Cuphead.
A big studio in Korea, and
is that ID Xbox?
Yeah, it's
oh, cool. I didn't know anything
Keep in
about
mind,
that.
I have it, but I haven't played it yet.
It is a very good game, Billy.
Program, but for fans, they just want to play great games.
It's tough.
Yeah,
but it's still bloody good.
And it's amazing.
Absolutely, I've played it myself. I've got far in it. Got up to the at least to the second to third level because they're different maps and many challenges. It's if you're familiar, it plays like actually. Remind me, see if you agree with me on that. It almost plays like I would say a mix of Contra with Super Mario World.
Yeah, it certainly got the sort of side-scrolling shooting aspect of like a Contra or even like an R-Type or a Gradius or something like that. Especially when you get the bits when you're sort of like flying a plane or whatever.
Yeah, no, it's
but
an amazing story.
Then it's also got sort of the aspect of like taking. I mean, when you get to the boss levels and stuff, you know, I know people made the jokes about it's the Dark Souls of platformers and whatever, but it's certainly got that. It's probably going to take you 50 times in order to actually grind out. You know, knowing the patterns and everything in order to be able to take down the bosses.
Absolutely.
WWE Creative said no Dream Daddy 2 announcement yet.
Well, that might be PC gaming show.
Phil said it. You know, it's about diversity of content.
And you also need to tweet the Game Grumps about that, aren't they? The ones behind that game.
Yeah. Well, they're sort of involved with it. Yeah.
Hey Billy, you wanna tell everybody where they can find you real quick?
To see how you guys continue to support
For those listening on Facebook Live.
Twitch.tv/WrestleGamer.
Thank you.
Cuphead.
I think Ashen is really cool.
I also noticed on the Twitch feed that they kind of screwed up the Dying Light trailer.
Keep watching.
I was gonna say there's more to come. You guys had amazing. That sizzle reel of a lot of those. I gotta look. So there was a bunch of games.
Yeah, while the fans are watching us talking here, it's funny. I am broadcasting live now on Facebook for the E3, and at the same time, I am playing Stardew Valley on here.
Oh shit!
Game Pass, which Ashley was talking about.
That shit is bananas. BANANAS.
Developers in Game Pass now. What Ashley announced on stage.
Ashley, WWE Creative says we want the Rainbow Demon Finn Balor to promote Dream Daddy 2.
It's available in Game Pass, so titles like After.
Hey, if we can have Rocket League sponsor it, you know.
It's a great opportunity for independent
and you know, considering how Stephanie is wanting to be all about inclusiveness and whatever. I mean, hell, I saw the thing that they did in terms of they literally did a for your consideration thing to try and get Emmy nods
Yep.
last Wednesday. Interesting choice of things, though, because we had the 25th anniversary edition of
Have a great E3.
the Mixed Match Challenge from Facebook and all that, and the WWE 24 documentary on the women being in the Royal Rumble.
Take a look at Ori and the Will of
Not Total Divas or Total Bellas like I thought it was going to be.
Of course, later on,
Yeah, actually, they were looking to expand their horizons to other sorts of media, so maybe that's a sign finally they're going to kick the Bellas out.
Oh my god, Twitch actually found the fucking frame rate. Yeah, we're actually seeing that gameplay from the Microsoft conference.
We are having Paige promote the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Paige here.
Welcome back to our show here on
That makes a lot of
We have
sense.
lots coming up in the hour, so let's get right to it, and we'll start with bringing back one of our esteemed guests.
Chat right now,
sensation,
just to tell you.
Justine, it's great to see you.
How are you? I was just next door at the Xbox press conference.
Oh, what the hell? I forgot I got the wrong thing put on my,
games afterwards?
I did. I played Forza.
Okay.
Seasons. It was kind of cool.
It's
like seeing talk about it, but
Justine.
actually getting to play it. And it's crazy because, I mean, I've played Forza in the past, but every time I play it, I'm like, man.
Let me tell you something. You know what I find funny, guys? The game I play, Infestation, it's, you could tell they kind of did a bite off of PUBG, because before, you know, if you play PUBG now, there's that radiation zone, so you got to avoid the radiation zone. Now, basically on the Infestation game I play, now it is the same thing. Now they added that type of radiation zone. So I just found that interesting to see why they kind of bit off of that. Hey, I don't care about that. Come on, close that gate.
Because they're putting in Battle Royale.
Which is crazy. Our old producer Jeremy is over there working on it.
Everything's gonna have Battle Royale.
Last year at E3, they're like, hey,
Yep.
Forza Horizon 4 Battle Royale.
You might want to check it out.
Cuphead Battle Royale.
A year later. I mean, it is
Cuphead Battle Royale.
Tetris Effect Battle Royale.
He does.
Well, you know what, Billy? Then they need, excuse me, Ashley, they need to add other characters like T-Head, Teacup Head, Mug, not Mug, beer Mug characters, and anything cup related.
It's just, considering everything seems to be just shoehorning something to do with bloody BR in their games.
I know we got Ninja and
Can't wait for Dying Light 2 BR. Anthem. Let's look for what they've got next up on Twitch. We've got Anthem BR, Battlefield 5 BR. Well, that's an actual real thing. Unravel 2 BR. There's loads of fucking yarnies trying to kill each other.
Yes.
Well, you know what's funny? Did you hear about the Battlefield that they're going back to the 1942, or not really 1942, but World War II era?
Oh, good.
Yes.
It was very beautiful graphics, let me tell you.
Call of Duty World War II, in terms of its story stuff, although being a little like too much like a Hollywood film, was good. The only bit that was the problem was going to the D-Day beach to open loot boxes. Thanks, Activision, you dumb fucks.
Yeah, you don't want to try to run across the beach in Normandy and
no, it's supposed to be like in peacetime.
Oh,
where the soldiers congregate there, and they openly want you to watch other people open their loot boxes.
Oh, geez.
They did. That, you know, yeah, that was really well received. But you know, Battlefield 1 worked for EA, and you know, they haven't been to 1940s, you know, World War II times since the original Battlefield 1942, and
actually
all that, because Battlefield 2 was modern.
Yep.
Battlefield 3 was modern.
Well, don't
I mean,
forget
the Bad Company games, I guess, would be the closest because they were sort of Vietnam inspired.
Yeah, don't forget that even though we have Battlefield 1942, they did have also expansions that was which was
I can't remember the name of them. I just remember they were all off Battlefield 1942.
Yeah, they had the Desert Combat mod, the Vietnam mod.
I'm not really sure. I mean, if they
They also had. I'm trying to remember what was the other one.
Gentlemen, I hate to interrupt, but WWE Creative has a question. Should Batista play Marcus Phoenix in the Gears of War movie?
I do actually. Okay. Yes.
He seems like a perfect fit if they were to do one.
If they like announced Street Pass and then like everyone could
well, they did. It was 1940. The expansions directly for 42 were Road to Rome and Secret Weapons of World War II.
Yep.
But then there was Battlefield Vietnam, which was sort of a spin-off. Battlefield 2 Modern Combat, which was like different to Battlefield 2.
Well, I think
Slightly, because the console version was different to the PC version.
well, I think the Battlefield 2 was basically just a standalone version of Desert Combat, since everybody liked Desert Combat.
Fantastic. All right, well, it's great to see you, Justine.
Battlefield 2142.
Yeah.
Then Battlefield 1943. Which again was, I think, that was only console.
It's going to be quite the event, and you guys are not going to want to miss it.
And then Battlefield Hardline, that we even though it was the game that finished Visceral Games. Thanks, EA. Fuck.
So we'll see actually tomorrow. Solid Mustard, the creative director, will be here on YouTube. And we will also
that's
have
what killed Dead Space. That's what killed Dead Space, everybody. It's like Dead Space 3 didn't do well. Shit, we better put them on something else. I'll make them do Battlefield Hardline. That can't go wrong.
So that's day 2, but we have 3 hours left to go here. So there's lots more fun stuff. And all day you guys have been tweeting about the going on at E3 and using our YouTube.
We're actually going to see gameplay now.
I know, right?
Considering they're showing actual stuff for Battlefield now, maybe. Oh no, this is Anthem, sorry.
Superhero landing.
Well, not exactly.
What the hell? Boss gave me half the day on watching this. Hey, I could do the same thing if I'm at work. Watch YouTube.
Interesting that they're choosing to use mute this trailer though.
I actually believe the Rooster Teeth group are there as well.
Yeah, Rooster Teeth, Game Slice, which is basically Jeff Keighley's
so
stuff.
Fun to see all the
IGN,
around
Twitch.
the world watching the show.
Anthem is the game that killed the Mass Effect franchise.
A lot of great games still to
What's
go
that,
Andromeda was what killed. Well, no, Andromeda isn't what killed Mass Effect. It was the fucking bastards at EA that forced BioWare to bring out a game that wasn't ready.
Here doing a Let's Play of
because
Fortnite,
EA wanted it.
Don't miss that.
And
let us know right now what you're excited to see at Bethesda's big showcase, which is less than 90 minutes away right now. Once again, tweet us using the YouTube E3 hashtag to get your words on the show. It's going to be a big showcase with Rage 2, Fallout 76, and probably some other things from our friends at Bethesda, so tune in for that. Now, my next guest is best known for being the lead designer of Payday. His new game is a 4-player co-op shooter that looks downright terrifying. Here to give us an exclusive new look at his new game,
one of the most anticipated games
that we revealed for the first time at the Game Awards last December.
So,
the creative director of 10 Chambers,
Red Dead Redemption 2. I mean, okay, he said one of, but it's like,
just in. You guys have been working so hard because the game is playable here at E3.
More interesting now that that's coming in December.
First time. Well, it was so fun to have you
Oh God!
at the Game Awards.
You know, guys, I'm sorry to cut you off. Actually, you know, just this past a couple of days ago, we lost Anthony Bourdain, the famous chef that everybody probably knows.
They were like, "Wow, this is visceral and intense."
Well, here's another guy, Jackson Odell, best known as for his role as Ari Caldwell on the ABC comedy when he was found unresponsive in his California residence. He was, if you guys don't know who he is, well, first of all, he was the Goldberg's character. He was in that series. He was only 20 years old. You know, that's crazy.
After that show,
a lot of these people are committing suicide. And I'm gonna throw this. Maybe it's ignorant on my end, okay, but you got all this money, you got all these you got things that we wish we can all have. You got all these, you know, the benefits of life. Why would you take your life away?
Well, I think everyone reacted so positively.
That's crazy. You know, it's
the atmosphere and the lighting.
It's the way the brain is wired. You know, I've seen so many people.
Are we seeing any new weapons? Are we seeing new enemies? What's new?
Perfectly happy and, you know, seemingly content with their life. That you hear, like, within that same week, they've attempted to or successfully taken their own life. It's just the insecurity, you know, it's mental health isn't treated with the respect that it deserves to be. I don't think it's like the status of where they are. Clearly there's something emotionally in them that's affecting them, and you know, money isn't everything.
Definitely, I agree with you. It just, you know, it just drives me insane. These people have every benefit. You know, they have a lot of things going for them, and they take their life.
The issue that I think sort of comes up is like, if they go public with it, some people might go, "Ooh, can we trust them with this thing now?" Because they seem, you know, a little unsettled and whatever, which then makes that person even more unsettled. You know, if more respect is given to mental health issues, whatever it be, you know, whether it's suicide or whether it's, you know, from the other end, whether it's dementia, you know, old people sort of losing their minds and their memories because of old age, because, you know, the brain cells and whatever not being able to power as much.
Hollywood is more shady than North Korea.
To some extent, yeah. How many leaks have we heard this year about North Korea? Some. But how many have we heard about everything involving, like, Me Too, or, you know, or various sexual harassment, not just against women, but against men as well? A lot. And there again, and that's another thing with the mental health. The reason why you haven't seen Brendan Fraser do stuff in years is because of basically his allegation that came out that he was sexually assaulted. And he didn't want to come out with it because he thought people were going to go, "You're lying," and then he was sort of going to get blackballed sort of thing.
Yeah. It's just a shame, you know. It's really just a shame. Found another book.
You're working with Unity on this a little bit, which I think is really cool, because, you know, I remember one of the great things about the Game Awards is you showed this off, and then everyone started like, "What is this game?" And, you know, we did a great job keeping it secret when we first talked about it. So tell us, you're really...
You still think the Bohemian Grove conspiracy is still a thing? I don't even know what you're talking about.
Bloody Jenna Bain going after that E3 at Microsoft. I have one question. Do you want to build a snowman? Come on, let's go and play. I don't feel you anymore in Gears of War since Coalition took it away.
Why did that just sound like Frozen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that probably came in her head because of that showing up in the Kingdom Hearts trailer and all that.
I know, right? I'd rather have it. Do you want to hide the body?
I think I don't have to stream WWE Creative.
Oh God, no! Why?
Is this what people are going to get to play behind closed doors at E3?
It's not this map, actually.
It's funny. We already know what probably goes on half the time. Speaking of which, what about CM Punk losing again? He lost another.
I mean,
he lost another MMA fight, and yet he's burning bridges with WWE. The guy can't cope in a real competition of MMA. Go back to something that you can you can do, which is obviously wrestling, where you're not going to get your ass handed to you unless you piss off somebody in the locker room.
Yeah, but I think with the WWE stuff, WWE have been burning bridges back at him anyway. Because if you remember that, they were sort of adamant. If you listen to the Colt Cabana podcast thing, which became part of that lawsuit, he was clearly saying that they were overworking him. And considering how many injuries that we're seeing and how threadbare the roster's becoming at times, that must be partially true, at least in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely.
Then take into account that he was basically under ransom after he walked out on the Royal Rumble. And when did they send his termination papers? If you remember, the day of his wedding to AJ. And then, all of a sudden, the court case brought by WWE's financially backed medical guy just so happened to be in or around, because it was delayed for months and months, to when he was going to have his second UFC fight.
Yeah.
And on top of that, the stuff that came out that apparently bloody Chris Amon, who says, I work the Hippocratic Oath, I don't discuss cases with anybody but them, was openly talking with Jericho and Ziggler about it.
Mm-hmm.
Which became one of the big sort of points of order for them to go, well, you're clearly not trustworthy either.
The fight was equivalent of Eva Marie versus Dana Brooke.
And the problem with the fight is, I have no problem with Punk. He's basically come out and, he said, I hope I can win. He never said I am going to win. He was not that cocky and everything. Because obviously he's been through a lot, and he knows that certainly with his age and everything, it was always a risk to go in like he did. The issue that I had, and clearly Dana had from the press conference afterwards, I did catch that because I somehow woke up for a little spell to catch that 5-minute bit of the press conference on YouTube. Mike Jackson had plenty of opportunities to get a knockout victory.
Exactly.
And it went to a 3 rounds judge's decision.
And you know why they did that? They had to give him something.
In that press conference at the end, Dana said, Mike Jackson is never wrestling here again, not even in the Contenders series. He was that pissed at him for not basically
killing Punk.
If he had finished Punk, because him and Dana would be friends no matter what, Punk. But because he didn't finish him, he lost the UFC career. Because if he had, because what did Mickey Gould do? He ran with it and sort of did crazy stuff with it, didn't he?
Yep.
And he's actually got he's a rising star of the company. Mike Jackson's like, I respect you too much and I want to get paid more money.
Let's hope he gets a staph infection and blames Dana while on a podcast with Colt Cabana.
No. They actually, UFC tries to treat their people with a little bit more respect. I mean, admittedly, they've got weight-cutting issues because nearly every single card that's happened this year has had somebody missing weight in some capability or in some fashion, I should say. Whether he goes to Bellator, where the, you know, arguably it is a second tier of things, you know, because Bellator, I think, would pay the money for him, and if he wants to stay in MMA, I'm pretty sure he'd do that. Ever. But you know, if he wants to do all in and just sort of be like a one and done sort of thing, if New Japan is trying to go heavy and want to sort of do a one match sort of special for Wrestle Kingdom, let's say, or you know, even if they do go for because the rumor is that depending how successful pre-sales go once they've announced the card this week,
it's like Dr. Aman.
I mean, that would be interesting.
My job is trying to call me. Screw you. Can you probably come in for a shift tonight? No.
Get more strength, come back. Exactly. Like, you know, do your things.
I work tomorrow. I do my bit for King and Country.
And yeah, there's many systems in there, like the spirit guide system, right? Or you can now wield different weapons and so on.
The big thing that they can stress in Battlefield, we're removing paid DLC.
Incredible. And tell us a bit more about how the
barely show content, but we're removing you having to pay for it, so you know. Whoa.
Yeah, it's
oh my god. Oh my god. They're actually showing fucking gameplay. I'm watching this.
You didn't see the Unravel yesterday. They did that.
No, I'm talking about Battlefield 5.
Oh.
They're showing it on the Twitch stream that Billy's co-streaming and everything.
Okay, yeah, because the one I'm seeing is they're showing another game, which is really really interesting.
Somebody's working on the game all the time, right? I think that's just a fascinating story, the fact that you have that many people in 30 cities all coming together and actually making something that is this beautiful and incredible.
When someone wakes up, they always see an improvement to the game.
I was going to say, yeah, and it's becoming pretty crazy now, where it's like you wake up and you see like 400 messages.
I mean, how do those little chicks get there?
That's such like a fascinating story. Like
yes, Cat, I hear you, I hear you. I'm putting water in here. Fuck you, Cat.
It looks great. Next year,
Another Battlefield where everyone just uses one submachine gun.
Yeah, or sniper rifles.
Yeah, we haven't really changed our release date, you know, as we'll fight back. TBD. So it's still the same thing, and it's...
that doesn't look right on my picture.
Okay, good. All right, I was going to say, I was expecting you to push it further, but that's good. Extra over here. And no, again, you see a game like this, it inspires me to...
I might care you.
Excited about where games can go.
It's too young to produce milk. Fuck you.
He's building up the fortifications.
Oh my God, all right, I will. Well, Garrett, great to chat with you, Thomas. Thank you for coming by YouTube show. We can't wait to see more on this game. Absolutely, it's my pleasure. All right, well, Microsoft's press conference ended with a huge reveal, a very highly anticipated game, a world premiere from CD Projekt Red out in Warsaw, Poland, the creators of the Witcher trilogy, Cyberpunk 2077. If you happen to miss it, let's take a look at that trailer again right now.
Alright, on my end, they're showing another new game from Poland.
Main issues, sky-high rate of violence, and more people living below the poverty line than anywhere else. Can't deny it, it's all true.
And it's a beautiful game.
This city's always got a promise for
This game kind of reminds me, I'm watching I don't know if you guys see it, but I am watching on the official YouTube live E3 thing, they're showing a new game for Xbox One. And it almost looks like, I don't know if you guys ever played it, but it reminds me of Snatcher for the old Sega CD.
Yeah. Well, you know, Kojima. We've got to play real Kojima games, not Metal Gear Solid.
You can't wait for Silent Hill Survive to be shown. What?
Have you ever watched a friend play a game badly and it just shows you where, imagine that person was not only your boss, but a television icon. Joining me next is a man with endless patience. The Desi to Conan O'Brien's Lucy. Here all the way from Clueless Gamer and his new series, Dinner and a Video Game, we have Aaron Blair. Aaron, great to have you with us.
Oh, sorry.
What an introduction.
I was on camera. Hey, everybody. Hello.
Good to see you, Aaron.
Thank you for having me. This
you
is
are
fantastic.
you are the clued-in gamer,
yes,
right?
Exactly. I am the gamer, not the clueless one. Although I'm also an idiot in other ways.
Oh, stop it, Aaron. It's so good to see you. You've been a great supporter of all the things we've done on YouTube and the Game Awards over the years. I got to say, the Clueless Gamer segments that you upload to YouTube, everyone loves them, and it's like you get the perfect...
He's the senior production guy for Conan. Conan, the Age of Conan was really bad. Well, it wasn't bad. It was great graphics. You get to see women's boobies. But the gameplay after a while kind of was yuck.
And yeah, it's really fun. I mean, the thing is, like, I think we struck upon such an amazing...
If you play Conan Exiles, you get to see a whole lot more.
Conan Exiles at launch was great, but from what it's now developed into, as like a sandbox sort of building game, is actually pretty good.
Yeah, that is actually the same as Age of Conan.
Because they love to watch Conan blunder through a game. People who love games just love to watch somebody play a game, which is great.
And you have had so many amazing Clueless gamers over the years. How many years have you been doing Clueless?
Oh my God, I want to say 4. I think we've done 38 of them.
Wow.
Yeah, here I am. I'm going back.
More like an hour and 5 minutes, WWE Creator.
I am back in the mines here in Stardew Valley, and I'm going to go to the 80th floor.
Get that chest.
I already got everything. I'm clear, actually.
Oh, okay.
I actually cleared the mines.
What's the furthest you managed to get down in the desert mines or whatever it's called?
That's the only place I can't figure out how to get to. I don't even know where it is.
You've got the skull key, haven't you?
Yes, I do.
You need to get on the bus.
Okay.
It's in the skull mines are in the desert area.
Alright, I'm gonna have to do that, but it's like late 6 o'clock. I don't know if the bus is running. Because isn't the bus broken?
Unless you fix the bus. I can't remember what you have to do for that one.
Yeah,
I think it's the money one, the safe, to get the bus running.
Yeah, I have no clue, to be honest.
Fantastic. And that was Conan actually got to have sex, which was amazing in the game. That was, and I think for him, a amazing milestone in his gaming achievement.
I was gonna say, it's like achievement unlocked.
Exactly, achievement unlocked.
Increase the moon.
Doesn't matter.
What can we expect from Clueless Gamer going forward? I know you probably can't reveal the games in the future.
Yeah, can't reveal any games, but I will say...
I like when they say, well, we really can't reveal any games. In other words, we don't have any to reveal. Or we haven't really done it. What's that, Ash?
Who's that saying that they haven't got games to reveal?
We have had Roman Reigns, we've had Freddie Prinze Jr., we've had Fred
I gotta see his name again.
Fred Durst was amazing. Draymond Green from the Warriors, he just won.
They're talking. They had just mentioned. They mentioned Assassin's Creed Uprising.
So many games, so much stuff.
They're gonna have a couple people.
I know we got Ninja coming by tomorrow. He's gonna do some live Fortnite here on our side.
Oh, I love it.
So it's,
I'm trying to read up on a couple of things here.
Yeah.
His name is Aaron, but I can't see the last name. I didn't catch the last name. But I believe he's from Bethesda. Oh shoot! I went this way. And they're talking about different things regarding. They bring up Roman Reigns and a couple other things like the people that are hobnobbing. I'm guessing.
Your second post-apocalyptic
Let's be honest.
games.
If there's something about Bethesda about announcing games, they're not going to announce it now, an hour before their bloody press conference. They're going to go, oh yeah, Prey DLC's coming. By the way, it is. Because it's like basically under sort of embargo. Sort of, anyway.
WWE Creative says he's sick of post-apocalyptic open-world games.
Agreed.
Rage 2, everybody! Rage 2, Fallout 76.
You know what game I would like to see them bring back? I want to see them bring back Star Wars Galaxies. If you haven't played it, check out the YouTube. It's already a game. It's been gone for years. It died out in 2006, but EA screwed that up really badly with it. But it was a great Star Wars sandbox game.
They did. To some extent, they've done exactly the same with Old Republic.
Yeah.
That was good, and it just sort of like, oh, you're not doing anything with it.
Yeah, Ash, I'm by the bus, and it's not giving me any options. Let me see if I can.
Well, no, I think the big issue with Galaxies as well is because it wasn't EA that developed it. It was Sony, wasn't it?
Yep, that's what it was. It was Sony Entertainment, and they ruined the game.
Because the rights switched over, it was sort of like hard to do anyway.
Well, what happened was they catered. It was a hard game, and it was a sandbox. Very good, very completed, and you had 32 professions. 32 professions, no Jedi, and you focus on, while you had the heroes like Luke and Leia and all these other people, you were focused on being the like Uncle Owen or the Stormtroopers or stuff like that. It was not, it basically turned into one of those things that, kids started playing it and they ruined it. Because this was a game for adults, and then they say, well, it's too hard. And that's what killed it. And they started making it easier and easier, and it went from 32 professions, it went down to, I think, 14, and then from 14 it went down to 9. And they were all predetermined, so it's like, you clicked on, you wanted to be a Jedi, clink, you're a Jedi. It was horrible.
WWE Creative says, give me Dino Crisis reboot, remake, anything.
Well, that implies that Remember, Capcom said that Deep Down was going to be a PlayStation 4 launch title. Supposedly, it's still in development. We haven't properly heard anything about that for 4 or 5 years.
But let's do it. Let's try. So we got Pablo and his team together.
So who the hell knows?
Yeah.
And now you can get a wingman, jump in a 6-story mech, and wage war against others.
Wow. When I got to play a little while ago at your office, and it's cool because this is definitely
But yeah, it was when they brought in.
Multiplayer. I mean, that's what people
It was when they brought in the new game enhancement they called it.
Yep,
the Galaxies.
That's what killed it. Then
and they still wanted people to pay for the service, so it was just like, well, way to piss off the people that actually cared about it.
Yeah, exactly.
WWE Creative says it's a great IP if done right.
Absolutely.
Subscriber numbers were expected to exceed 1 million. In August 05, Sony reported that they'd sold 1 million box copies of the game. In early 06, unconfirmed reports showed that only 10,363 subscribers were paying on the particular Friday night when the stats came from it, which I believe was from CBS News, weirdly.
Yep, it was very, very bad. I remember when we got in there, like I said, it was horrible.
And this is it's coming soon. It's in early access, right?
Yeah, it's in early access now.
There's a Jurassic Park game coming out.
Oh God.
Yeah, from the guys from the Planet Coaster guys at Elite Dangerous Frontier.
Yeah, they could just check out the PvP. We have, obviously, if you want to support the war.
It's got a lot of interest, and apparently from those people that sort of have played like the early builds, you know, for like testing and whatever, it's pretty good.
As you accrue energy, you unlock the ability to use deadly ultimate ability. And there's a couple of them. A couple that are worth mentioning are, stealth that you just see used. You can essentially become invisible and attack your opponents from different angles. And then you have
what is this game about?
The huge shoulder mounted
This is Unraveled 2.
beams, laser, cuts through environment, cuts through people. And then you
I don't know whether both people have to have the game. You know, I don't think it's a way out where one person has the game and the other person gets it for free.
No, it's actually, you can actually be in the same room and play it.
Yeah, but it's not just local co-op, is it? It is online co-op as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, because
well, they're talking about anthems to eclipse Destiny 2.
Yeah, we have a Walking Dead VR game that we're working on. We're not really ready to talk a little bit more about that yet.
Anthem is coming out with a few new games that they're not going to talk right now.
Going to take some time to get to the right size, but we're here for the long term. We're going to create really high-end experiences for players that really enjoy AAA games. That's our background. We come from making really great games, and we know what people want. It's just a matter of time before you start seeing that. You think you'll do traditional?
And fans, I will take the opportunity right now to let you know that in HazardCon, which is a Comic-Con type event where they're going to bring in a lot of manga, anime, video games, comics, vendors. It's happening in Erie, Pennsylvania on July 13th and 15th. That's a weekend. I will be there doing a live podcast and hosting a gaming see if I can put together a gaming tournament of retro games. So I will be live there. And again, that's Erie, Pennsylvania. Check out hazardcon.org for more information.
So we'll have that for you live right here on YouTube. And of course, tomorrow, Ubisoft press conference and the big PlayStation showcase. Same hours, 8 hours, tomorrow live. I know some of you guys might have to go to work or school or something, but put it on your phone. We got YouTube Live at E3 for you. But now we're going to head on back out to my good friend, Boogie. He's such a great guy. He's literally here with us all day today, and I really appreciate him spending the time with us on YouTube Live at E3. He's got a group of gaming fans ready to tell us all what's exciting to them so far at E3 2018. Boogie, take it over.
Hey, thank you, Jeff. So we're out here with the crowd. You've been hearing all day. You've been hearing all day what I think about the games. You've been hearing what Jeff thinks about the games. You've been hearing from the developers. But that's not who this show is for. The show is always for the fans. So I wanted to get a few fan reactions. I want to talk to you guys. You guys said you had just recently played a bit of Anthem. You got to play Anthem, right?
Yeah. Another game that's coming out is Marvel Spider-Man, which is going to be a PlayStation exclusive.
Like I said going into the show,
we're going to get some sort of deep dive style thing on that tomorrow during the Sony conference. I'm guessing some of it will be relating to Doctor Strange, because most people are believing that if you've seen the pre-order package, for the collector's edition, it's Spider-Man on top of something, but it's covered in like hazard tape, saying "Do not reveal until E3."
Oh my God.
People think that Spider-Man's on top of the Santorum or whatever it is. I can't remember the name exactly.
Ashley, WWE Creative said we should make a horror game based on the Hardy compound.
Reba already has that.
Didn't they already do that? It's called the Macho Man Savage the Macho Man Randy Savage mod for Skyrim. Which turns all the dragons into Macho Man.
Yay! Well, they have The Last of Us Part 2 coming out. Ellie wants revenge.
They were also showing Death Stranding tomorrow, the Sony thing, and I can't remember the fourth.
I'm hanging out with this guy for the rest of the day. We are best friends now. Thanks to our...
I think it's a Sony exclusive, but I can't remember what it is because lol. Oh, Ghost of Tsushima, the new game from Guerrilla, who did Killzone and all that.
Why are they chasing that Sparky?
Oh no, sorry, no, it's Sucker Punch, the guys that did Infamous.
Ashley, why are they chasing a Sparky thing?
That's the spark, the spark of life sort of thing. It's symbolic, Billy. Symbolism.
You want a Just Dance presentation, WWE Creative?
That'll probably happen tomorrow.
Yeah, right.
At Ubisoft. It sells. And if you can warrant having God knows how much fucking FIFA, Madden, and NBA that you did at EA, you're gonna have Just Dance.
Yep. Well, now they're showing a lot of games for virtual reality, which is interesting. PlayStation VR is coming out with a game that's based in London.
Something that has definitely not been covered so far at E3. I don't know that it will be. Neopets. What? It's now E3 2008.
Splinter Cell.
It's E3 2006 for some reason.
Goodbye, Solid Snake.
Oh my God. All right, guys. Well, thank you for your question and answer. Thanks for being on camera with me. For the folks at home, I hope you're enjoying this E3 coverage. Back to you, Jeff. I love it. Boogie hosting segment. This is awesome. We got to do more of this. All right. And yeah, RuneScape. Not at E3. It's still on Steam. All right. Next up, we're talking about the just announced next installment of one of Xbox's biggest racing series.
You can now watch Total Bellas in VR.
Oh God, who would want to watch it in anything?
From what I've heard from the people that know about this stuff, VR porn is actually extraordinarily surprisingly good.
Oh jeez.
Especially for like the Oculus Go, is it, or whatever it's called? You know, the one that's just basically off the phone.
Thank God I came from an era where we actually went out and got women. Or get women.
You can English properly, Joe.
I know, right? Kingdom Hearts 3.
Don't tell Dan, but this is really my favorite franchise because it's so much fun with it, more arcadey, more fun.
No, you.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, WWE Creative.
Apparently, this has come out of the.
Ashley, from WWE Creative's comments, I'm beginning to suspect that that's actually Rick behind that, because he just said One Night in China VR edition.
Oh God.
Apparently, Detroit Become Human tweeted out that a lot of players asked us to bring back Chloe after you have the option to release her. So we decided to follow the popular vote. So the next patch will allow you to acquire a brand new model. So as one of my developer people that I follow on Twitter says, we let people free their slave to make a point, but they missed having a slave. So if they want, they can get a new slave. No.
Okay.
I think I get the point now. I like it.
We're building a world the size of Horizon 3's Australia, but we're doing it 4 times over, like 4 completely different seasons in terms of visuals, in terms of audio, in terms of gameplay, in terms of driving experience. It's a lot of work, but we took on that work and we embraced the British location, and we're delighted with the result.
Yeah, no, it looks incredible, and you get close to home, so it's easier to take the reference photos, I guess, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So a bit of a change there. So normally at the start of a project, we send a smallish team out to some exotic place like Australia, and they go for a bit and they come back and make a video and a photograph. A couple of things are different. We send the whole team.
I'm intrigued to see what the game tomorrow is going to be on GG. Part of this G trip thing. Hopefully it's actually good. Hopefully isn't. Or at least it is in terms of value for money.
Wow, well, it looks incredible, looks great. I gotta ask you guys the music, because I always love when you guys use the soundtrack. What can we expect for music this time around?
Yeah, I mean, music is incredibly important to Horizon. As you know, we're doing a bunch of things. We're going to be talking about our radio stations, how they line up, and what's exactly going to be on them further into the summer. But on the show floor this week, you're going to see our
the hell is this?
People are playing right now across the road, and we've actually had that soundtrack.
A granny's been arrested in America after she was caught on camera driving her grandkids around in dog kennels.
The granny?
Yeah, no, I said that I love the energy.
What granny?
Lemome Cheeks faces child cruelty charges after an 8-year-old girl was spotted climbing out of a pet cage after being driven around in 35-degree heat. 35 degrees Celsius, so that's what? 90-something Fahrenheit?
Yep.
But yeah, there's a kid literally getting out of a bloody... She told police she drove them in the cages because there wasn't enough room in the car for them to sit. Really?
Hey, how you doing, Rick? Rick is on Facebook.
Rick, get your ass on Discord.
Wow. 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 That's just... I don't even know what to say to that.
Hey, Rick, I am on Discord with Billy and Ashley. If you want to jump on, just shoot me. I'll give you all the info.
Bethesda attendees, please be sure to check in by 6. Show starts at 6:30. Oh, so they're locking the doors early. It's like,
what game am I playing, Rick? It is Stardew Valley.
why did they need some sort of like encouragement to do another Soul Calibur game?
It has The Witcher 3 in it.
Well, it's got Geralt in it.
Who else is not waiting for? Bethesda. I think the last Bethesda game I've ever seen was actual Star Trek. I'm trying to remember if it's Legacy.
Counting down the Bethesda showcase, just like Judge Judy, and I just posted on my Twitter. I want you guys to give
the main Twitch channel when they did the Gears of War and Cyberpunk reveal. You know, right at the end, had 420,000. The YouTube main one, which is the Jeff Keighley one, had 175,000. Twitch with all the co-streams included, 1.8 million. YouTube with all the co-streams, somewhere in the region of about 900. Total number of people that were watching on Mixer was 15,000.
Tweet Graham and share your pictures from this year's Bethesda line. The venue is right behind us. Use hashtag YouTube E3.
Oh, I see. Mixer actually had about 385,000. Their viewer count broke.
Robots are also rad. Having a game made about both of those, it's just what you need.
So that's what happened. Their viewer count fucking broke. Brilliant.
Learned about days ago, and we emailed them saying we gotta have Generation Zero on the show. So joining us now is game director Anil Kraftling. Anil, great to have you here with your shirt. So this is a game.
The thing I will say though about the Mixer one, even though I didn't directly watch it, they did have the ability to stream it.
Of course, is going to be a big night because you guys have Raids 2 that's going to be over at Bethesda shortly, right?
It's obviously the closest that you can get to 4K.
I was going to say, so 3 games. Yeah, it's our biggest E3 yet. I was going to say 3 huge games. I know you guys have.
In terms of streaming it, so.
Generation Zero. Where's the team for this?
It's in Stockholm.
Stockholm,
obviously. The game set in Sweden. So,
I didn't know it set in Sweden. It is. All right. Yeah, so what can you tell us about it? I know we just have the trailer. You guys don't have a ton that you're sharing here at E3 on it, right?
It's a game, it's an open world action game where you team up with other friends in co-op or on your own and take on these mysterious invading machines and wage a guerrilla war against them, basically, in 80s Sweden.
Bethesda's doing another, well, they're doing an open world, another open world type game where you fight robots.
No, it's a first person. Single player or co-op.
I'm stuck in a hole somewhere here.
Why does Geralt keep winning these games? Seems fixed.
And the sort of explosive action that we're sort of known for as well. Okay. I think that's just first person stuff. So that's for example sort of first person gameplay. Yeah. And it's completely open world. And you roam it and you take on these mysterious machines that are really menacing. Some are small, some are bigger. And together.
The new game Bethesda's working on, it reminds me a lot of that TV show Colony.
It's up to 4 players, but you can do it entirely on your own and have a good time. It's a different experience when you're with friends, of course.
Well, the way they've described it now makes me think it is actually a game in the style of Fallout 3 and all. Because what was the quote was the world is 4 times bigger from what you've had in any Fallout game before. Which in terms of Fallout 4 was a pretty damn big map. And it's a prequel to everything. Because in the lore, Fallout 76 was like one of the first bunkers that was set up. And unlike many of the other bunkers, it was, because if you remember, the bunkers were sort of like experiments, where different bunkers had different things. Like one supposedly had only one person in it, and then they woke up, all they found was a box supplied by Vault-Tec full of puppets and dummies. And that was it. But Vault 76 was what you call a control experiment. So basically, it was just like a normal sort of bunker, where people were just able to do what they were supposed to. I'm guessing though, shit's gonna go wrong anyway because, you know, it's a game.
All right, very much appreciated. All right, we're a little over a half hour away now from Bethesda's big press conference. So
who's Geralt facing there? Geralt should face Geralt. That'll confuse everybody.
We've got Dauntless still to come. My friend Jesse and Nick from Dauntless have just recently got a lot more players in the beta. That was announced at the Game Awards a couple of years ago.
Oh shit, Geralt hasn't actually in this.
Of the family of Microsoft Studios, Compulsion Games in Montreal. They were announced as an acquisition from Microsoft. We've also got a YouTube Creator Roundtable leading into the big Bethesda press conference. I can actually see all the activity behind me. Everyone is lining up. It's going to be a very, very big press conference. And then finally tonight, the team from Call of Duty Black Ops 4 will wrap up our coverage after Bethesda, telling you a little bit about all things Black Ops 4. So we've got an amazing...
Well, we got a lot of stuff coming out. There's going to be Black Ops 4, a couple other games that are going to be debuting. Just want to give everybody a quick update for those watching on Facebook Live. I will be doing my HWR's Hardcore Wrestling Radio Four Corners rants on Saturdays now at 6:05. For those who are familiar with pro wrestling, it's 6:05. That was a famous time back in the 80s for the NWA.
Are you secretly going to call the Facebook channel TBS?
I wish.
Superstation.
I'm going to see if I can get what was his name? Oh God, I can't remember his name.
Soli?
No, what's his name? David Crockett and Tony Schiavone to try to jump on.
Oh, Davy Crockett, who was too excited about anything.
Yeah, where you build houses of cards to recreate vivid memories of your youth. And the houses of cards, they do a couple different things. They create the puzzle pieces that you can use to traverse the environment.
And Billy, Rick says he doesn't have Discord.
Rick, you are such a liar. You've got Discord and you know it.
He can hear you too.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
How do I have you on my friends list, Rick, if you don't have a Discord?
Wow.
He used to, because he was on, when I used to play Infestation, he was one of the people who joined with me.
Alright, well hopefully we got some footage of the game coming up so we can show it to you guys, because this is really interesting.
And those who are watching on my stream, you could see my character. He has a skull face.
Alright, and it's, themes, childhood, adolescence, so it seems like there's a lot of heart to it, right? Yeah, absolutely. The story. So
I'm basically just playing around, just killing time while we watch E3. Again, HazardCon coming July 3rd. HazardCon is coming on July 13th and 15th. I'm going to do a quick shout out to BC Games and More. They're on Facebook. They sell everything retro, from comics, games, and t-shirts and so forth. So check them out. Avoid it.
It's awesome to have smaller studios with us. So we've got a lot of great YouTube Live at E3.
I love the fact, though, that the Metro Exodus, Anthem, and Days Gone are apparently all coming out the same bloody day. Something's going to move at least, I'd have thought. Eventually.
Are there more games from Bethesda Game Studios? It's like, are they going to have more Elder Scrolls Online news? I mean, Bethesda's got so many things that they're working on, and they're all, exciting studios, and they really push the artistry of games in new directions. So we'll see that all. I ran into Todd Howard in the lobby of the hotel, and he teased me. He's like, I might be at Xbox, but I got more later, don't worry. So you'll see Todd Howard, I'm sure, on stage tonight, and he'll be with us on Tuesday when we run the E3 Coliseum.
And coming next week, for those who are listening from my channel, I will be having the host of HazardCon coming on my show. We're going to try to talk about what's going to happen, the different entertainers that they have coming in, and just different things that's going to be happening on that July dates.
We'll be talking about how video games inspired that HBO series. Again, Kojima will be live. We've got tons of panels across 3 days, and also Tuesday night, you want to tune into YouTube because we have the 20th anniversary of Grim Fandango, a classic adventure game that I grew up loving from Tim Schafer. The entire cast is reuniting to a live reading of the game, the original hockey version CD-ROM. They'll all be together, 20th anniversary, and Jack Black will be a special guest inside of that. It's going to be an amazing night. We've been working for months to put that together. So E3 continues on YouTube today and tomorrow, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we have 30 hours of panels from all the biggest games of E3 with the developers talking directly to the fans. So we're really excited to bring
Hey, Joe, Ash, I DM'd y'all an image on Discord.
What's up?
There've been a lot of great games.
I DM'd y'all something on Discord.
And we've got 3 big press conferences still to go and some big announcements still ahead. So coming up this hour,
is
we're
that
take
Exhibit
a
A?
Yeah, I know. I have him on my. I actually have him on my list too.
In just over 30 minutes, Bethesda's big show is
Exhibit A, apparently.
Of course, we will have uninterrupted
Rick, I think you're busted.
of that press conference for you guys right here on YouTube Live at E3. But before we get into that, we have another new game to show off. Everybody loves hunting.
And Rick is listening in on Facebook Live right now. He's
when they get to do it with a friend by their side. And we're going to talk about Dauntless. Let's head on over here to talk with my buddies, Jesse and Nick. How are you guys? Good to see you. How's everything? Thanks for coming. You guys flew in early just to be with us, and we appreciate it, because this Dauntless story started a couple years ago at the Game Awards, when right there at that theater, when Jesse was up there revealing the game.
Thank you, Rick, for that thumbs up.
Past couple weeks, more and more
I appreciate that.
I know you've been.
He's spending right now time
sort of
with his girlfriend, so
what's it been like now that
that's
people are inside of Dauntless?
great for him.
A heck of a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Launched about 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah.
And in the first 2 weeks, we've had over 1 million players playing the game.
Wow.
It's been completely crazy. We passed a bunch of times. We've been doing our best to keep the servers up.
Yeah.
Totally not ready for all the folks
coming in. The servers are never ready, right? Everyone goes through that, right?
Totally.
So we're looking at some footage here, and the game has really evolved in some awesome ways. So again, people, if you love to hunt big monsters, this is a game for you, and it's always had this beautiful art style. One of the things when you first showed it to me a couple of years ago, we were talking about the Game Awards, I was really taken by the artistry of how you guys have sort of brought this to life. So this is a game now, I mean, people are hearing about it and curious
It is
about
weird
it.
when you think about it.
Can you join?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So, we're fully...
I mean, it's only because they own the IPs for them at the minute.
Basically wanted to spend the last year or so getting ready to just...
Yeah, how about we do a game where Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, and Naruto cross over with each other?
Making a lot of changes. We're actually spending most of our time right now focusing on our first big content pack.
Yeah.
Coming out in about 8 weeks.
Okay.
Where we're going to launch another new behemoth.
I can't tell whether it's like a fighting style. I can't tell whether it's a fighting style game, whether it's like some sort of
coming on.
RPG style thing.
Slayers. Tell us about
Divinity Creative just found out the Cyberpunk trailer had free codes from Witcher 3.
Oh yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I can jump in on that.
Come on, Nick, get in here.
Yeah. So Dauntless is all about forging your legend. So from the get-go, you'll create a character, lots of customization options.
Yeah.
Everything in the game is tailored around creating
Death
your
Note
story,
is in there
your
too.
legend, and you.
That's the tease at the end.
Character customization options, literally hundreds of weapons and gear options that can all.
Oh no, another World of Warcraft with Dauntless.
Dies and all of that. But yeah, I mean, it was really important to us that in the world of Dauntless, since it's an online game, we want players to stand out when they stroll through Ramsgate wearing like the latest badass armor in the game.
Yeah, and the latest badass armor is always changing. There's always new stuff coming in. Because you've had, players in the game now for a while.
Here we go. This is where we find out
I think it was May 20-something. You guys finally
game it is.
Turned it on for everyone around the world. And as you said, servers, lots of people coming in, reacting to it. How do you feel now today? You're down here at E3. Are you feeling like it's like things are settled?
It's like a true Japanese wrestling thing.
It's all kind of happening. When we first got going, we never thought it would, there'd be this much interest, and so, it's been completely wild to just watch all the new players come in. And get to your point,
Action, fighting, 3-on-3.
Get in now.
So it's basically Marvel versus Capcom.
Yep.
Except fucking good.
It's just really wild watching and seeing all that feedback.
I enjoy playing the arcade machine version of Marvel vs. Capcom.
Interact not only like with the kind of broader world, but also with folks who just genuinely want to help us make the game better.
Like I said, the community is, as you know, they're kind of with you and they want to help and they want to build it. And that's what's great about these ongoing games is that you don't have to sort of create everything in this bubble and hope people like it. It's like you can actually evolve the experience with people and get feedback and like tweak it. And if they're happy, they're going to keep coming back.
You know, we've got this opportunity.
There's going to be a story mode with all these characters as well.
Iterative development and take that feedback.
Yeah.
We don't really.
Oh god. As long as I can play as Sailor Moon in some revealing outfits, I will buy the game.
We originally didn't want to have ranged weapons as an example. Yet the next weapon we're doing is completely ranged.
That's according to WWE Creative.
This kind of these big moments, or these big range moments.
Like I said, like people are happy, you know, they're affecting what you're doing with the game. So what is the roadmap now for sort of Dauntless? You know, you're obviously here today at E3, but what can we expect over the summer from you guys?
So, you know, every, kind of 8 to 10 weeks, we're going to launch big new kind of expansion content, and then kind of leading into the end of the year, we want to do our 1.0 kind of at the end of the year.
Okay.
You know, hopefully you and I will be spending some more time at the end of the year.
Hey, Ashley, Joe, can you guys entertain my chat so I can go eat some dinner?
December 6th.
Yep.
Hopefully we'll have
Probably. I'll
some good
keep
stuff from you guys.
an eye on the
It's great
chat.
to see how the
Alright.
game continues to grow, and you guys have been very
Kitty
loyal
dropped
to
in
your
some
vision
bits
and
earlier.
building it. So we're looking forward to seeing more. And
I think
check it out, right? Yep.
I think those were earlier today.
Or are they
Guys,
bits
have a
from
great
the week?
E3.
Weekly.
Yeah, we'll
Cheers.
Yeah,
get some more
yeah.
of, Dauntless
All right,
soon.
guys,
we're
I'm
heading on over
gonna,
here to
for you
talk
listening
to
on
Compulsion,
Facebook,
guys.
I'm
Thanks, Nick.
gonna end my
See you
stream
guys.
right here on
Appreciate it.
Facebook,
All right.
and I'll be jumping
So,
on Twitch.
Compulsion
So
Games, we happy
check me
Dragon
out on
Players
there.
game,
Just
little
look
while
up the
ago,
hashtag
and
Skulldron Realms, and
now
you'll
they're
find
a
me
member
there.
of the Microsoft Studios family. So